Hey everybody, Chris Englebert with Englebert Financial Advisors in Allentown, Pennsylvania with the weekly Rotella webcast. Again, thanks to the Rotella crew for putting our graphics together and also editing our sound and providing the services for this webcast here. What are we talking about today? I want to talk about how to use social media to research stocks, the right way and the wrong way. So with this graphic, you can see one of the things that's happened this year is there's been stocks that have blown up huge. And again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but stocks like GameStop and AMC, and people hear the term, well, gee, Reddit was talking about it. And all the Reddit traders got together and they focused on the stocks with the highest short interest, and they were able to, really, cause those shorts to cover, et cetera. Well, we want to talk about the real way you want to use social media, and what not to do is get on Reddit and discuss stocks on Reddit. The same thing with the chat rooms in Yahoo or also on MarketWatch. Another thing that's happening out there is there are YouTube people right and left on YouTube channels talking about how they trade stocks and what they do. In fact, the Wall Street Journal had a big article about the new generation of social influencers. Well, again, we think the problem is many of these people have only been around in the bull market of literally the last 12 to 14 months. And you hear the phrase diamond hands and, buy stocks and stocks only go up. There's a lot more to it. You have to work with a good financial advisor. You have to have somebody that knows and has experience as far as what's going on in the stock market and been through a couple of bear markets. Now, remember, there's a lot of scams out there on the internet, and these chat rooms have people pushing their agenda. Years and years ago, there was something called the pink sheet stocks. And if you really want to watch a movie, there's some movies out there like Boiler Room, which were very accurate in their day back in the 80s and 90s. Well, guess what? Many of the new social media platforms have been basically become the boiler rooms of the 80s and 90s. So what do we do to research stocks? We think that you should really focus on Twitter. Now, Twitter sometimes gets a bad rap because obviously there was a lot of public and political people on Twitter the last year or so, but Twitter is fast becoming one of the go-to places for breaking news on stocks. And one of the things that you want to understand about Twitter and how you get that breaking news is by using the dollar sign. Yes, the good old dollar sign. So if you put in the search bar dollar sign and then the symbol of the stock, for example, again, this is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but you put in the symbol of stock, Apple, AAPL, Amazon, or Twitter, or dollar sign Tesla, you will get a running real-time discussion about what's going on as far as what's happening with that particular stock. So if a stock drops dramatically, go to Twitter, put in the dollar sign, the symbol, you can find out why that stock's down, up, or sideways. Many times there are very good analysts who take to Twitter as well, and they will tweet about different stocks and different market conditions. So the other way you can really use social media to your advantage is by following people. There are a lot of good people from both an institutional and financial institutional level that you can follow on Twitter. You see some of them here. For example, NASDAQ. You can follow NASDAQ and what they tweet out by @NASDAQ. You can see ARK, a very popular ETF fund that's come out. They actually have several iterations of the fund. You can follow what's happening with ARK at ARK Invest. You can see, I put on some of the other ones here. Again, you need to start creating your list of people to follow, institutions to follow. You can see TD Ameritrade, a custodian that we happen to use, is on here as well. They tweet out some very important things as far as what may be going on with a stock that you might happen to hold in your portfolio. And then there's obviously ourselves at C. Englebert RIA as the financial advisor. We do a live Twitter hit every Friday talking about what's going on in the markets out there. So this is really something that you want to explore. Twitter is fast becoming a very good way to get a lot of good financial information and find out what's happening in the markets. Use the dollar sign and the stock symbol, follow some good people, and it'll help you with your investing in the future. That's all we have for this week on the Rotella webcast. We'll be back next week. Talk to you soon.